I can watch myself talk. I don't get to do that too often. I get to see the side of my mullet, which is awesome. Anyways, guys, that verse was one of the first verses that we ever learned. But God showed us girls, he said, girls, it's awesome that you know it, but are you going to be daring enough in your life to actually live your life by the verse, Romans 12:2. And you know what that verse meant for us girls? It totally shook up our life because it took us on a path that we thought we could go on in our life, a path that everybody else thought, okay, that's the life you should live. That's the life that everybody else is living, and you should do it as well. And it took us from this path all the way over to here to where God wanted us to be in our life, from not conforming to the ways of this world. It meant that we actually had to do things a little bit differently than everybody else. Guys, God is calling us. He's saying, you know what? My people are missing the calling that I have for them in their life because of the distracting things of this world. Guys, the only thing that this world wants for us in our life is to take us away from what God has for us in our life, because this world knows how dangerous we can be in this world when we're following the calling that God has for us in our life. And it is about time that we as Christians start standing up for what is right in our life and start fulfilling the calling that God has for us in our life. It's time for us to not be ashamed anymore. It's time for us to stop caring about what everybody else thinks about us in our life. It's time to stand up for the good, the right, and the pure things in this life. Let's not be ashamed any longer of who we serve. We have nothing to be ashamed about. Guys, the way that we feel, one of the many ways that we feel like God has called us to not conform to the ways of this world, and is we believe that God has called us girls to take a stand in the area of purity. And he showed us, he said, girls, I don't want you to just take one step in the general direction of purity. He said, I want you to dedicate your life to a life of purity. And guys, that